Hi, I love capitalism, and I love spending hundreds of dollars on plastic figurines that are completely useless to me now. That's kind of a lie, I guess. These hold some sentimental value to me, because let me tell you, these things were the shit in my childhood. Plastic toys you could play as when you slept in on a portal, that's fucking awesome. These games are honestly really fun, easy as hell, sure, but feed stupid 8-year-old me any video game and I'll love it, as long as it's Mario or Skylanders, that is. I wasn't allowed to play anything else anyway. No! Now to those normies that don't know what good gaming is, Skylanders was the Toys to Life craze of the 2010s. There was no other Toys to Life video games in this decade. No others. Published by Activision, Skylanders Spyro's Adventure was released in 2011 and kicked off in an absolutely massive franchise that ended up making Activision, holy shit, $3 billion? And this is just in 2015. Jesus Christ. $3 billion for this stupid fucking dragon. Good God. From the monetary perspective, Skylanders ended up being literally the 11th largest gaming franchise ever in, 2016. In 2016. Now, how did this multi-billion franchise end up dying? Well, to find that out, we gotta go way back to the start of the franchise. No, we don't. I just want to talk about this game series. Fun fact: this game's plot has absolutely nothing to do with the Spyro games at all. Like, he's just kind of there. I don't know. This 7.5 out of 10 game, according to GameSpot, was born thanks to the decision from the Toys for Bob video game development team. They got to choose to make a brand new game for one of Vivendi Games franchises. They should have made another Barbie horse adventure game instead of Skylanders. And they made the decision of Spyro the Dragon, a classic 3D platforming series for the PlayStation that's been sleeping for a while. There were a few ideas for a new Spyro game that came up before the idea of Skylanders, such as a prototype game called Spyro's Kingdom. I wonder what that looked like. Spyro, what the? Blah blah blah. I don't care. I want my Skylanders. This game history's boring. Yeah, you're so right. Let's talk about something cool, like the gameplay. Now, I'll be real. The gameplay in all of these games is basically the same. Walk around level, spam your attack buttons at anything that moves, solve the most baby puzzles of all time, do platforming that barely counts as platforming, get some little collectibles here and there, rinse and repeat for every level in the game. But guess what? It was the #1 selling game in America during 2011 for a reason, asshole. I didn't care if it was a simple game. 8-year-old me just enjoyed putting your robot on the portal and brutally slaughtering everything that came my way.
Nothing will ever separate us.
Oh man, that's so cool. I love robot dragons. Where can I unlock him in the game?
Aw, sorry little Timmy. If you want this Drobot or any other Skylander that didn't come in the starter pack, you gotta pick yourself up by your bootstraps and beg mommy to drive you down to your local Toys R Us to buy a single $20 figure. This was an era of gaming before fandom pages, so you had no idea what these guys did until you actually bought them and used them in game. I mean there were these little portal things in some of those stores, but my local Toys R Us didn't have one of these, so for my sake, because this is my video and I don't care what you think, these things were not real, and this is a figment of your imagination. Thank you.
Aw, you got Wrecking Ball. Fuck you, he sucks. Look at my Drobot again, he's so cool.
But, like I said before, none of the details of the gameplay mattered to any of the little kids that played these games. I just wanted to save Skylands from the evil chaos.
Are you fucking?
I really can't be bothered to explain the story of these games, so I'll be honest. One, I do not care, nor did I ever care for the story details as a kid. I was probably more concerned with making my own stories with them. Look at the state of some of these figures, oh my god. And two, it's so basic. I'll be honest, it's a kid's game. I don't want to lose viewers this early on, come on now. I'll be honest, again, this was the only game I didn't beat as a kid. Oh, you want to know why? Oh, I'll tell you gladly.
You see this Rotten Robbie right here? Fuck Rotten Robbie. These little bastards only died to fire. Oh yeah, let's make them kids need more Skylanders with the fire element because they're stupid and will die with Spyro. Real funny, Activision.
I mean, this was inevitable. The first game made a lot of money, 5.38 million to be exact. They had to bank on this. I mean, come on now. About a year after the first game came out, Activision published Skylanders Giants to the resounding success of 5.52 million, 140,000 more than Spyro's Adventure. Gameplay is the same, basically. Fight, collect things, run around, same deal, new gimmick. Now, this might piss off a fair amount of you, maybe. I never played Giants in my entire life, nor have I ever planned on playing it. I barely knew anything about Giants up until I made this video, and I know this is considered like usually the best or second best game in the franchise, so whoops.
I have toys to be playing with right now, and I got cookies that need to be eaten. Do I look like I'm made of time?
Anyway, after conducting incredible research, I conclude that Giants introduced the gimmick of, well, Giants. Groundbreaking. Much larger characters that had more health, did more damage, had super radical attacks, and of course are required for progression. Why wouldn't they be? On that note, these big guys usually cost $5 more than your typical Skylander. You did get one with the starter pack, but anything to get more money, huh? Oh yeah. Also, on that note, this is when they started to introduce variations of Skylanders that did absolutely nothing different except look different.
Wrong.
They actually made them for Spyro's Adventure 2, but it was like it was just the legendaries and then some really niche random ones like Silver Eruptor or something. It wasn't that crazy. It really started to bump up during Giants, so I guess my point still stands. But regardless, I thought I should mention that. Thank you. This was to make even more money. For example, Gnarly Tree Rex. Pretty cool, huh? Or the Lightcore figures, who light up when you put them on the portal. I bet you want to spend all your money collecting all of them, huh? Ooh. So, yeah, this game was basically the same thing as Spyro's Adventure. Kids game series, barely changing. Shocking. Look, I'd love to cover the whole game story since it's often considered the best, apparently. But, like, I just can't be bothered to, again. I do not care. The most important thing to come out of this game is the awesome, badass song that a robot named Drill X sings. That's it. That's the takeaway from this game.
Yeah. It's the end of the track, Skylander. Drillbot on the scene. I'll knock you out and back with a robo attack because you're messing with the rock machine. Yeah.
Coming out in 2013, this is where the franchise really started to evolve. They let you jump now. That's not the gimmick, by the way. This time, the gimmick is all about what the title says. Swapping. They introduced 16 new Skylanders that gave players the ability to tear apart their Skylanders and make eldritch abominations. I've created a monster. With a grand total of 256 combinations, if you have all of them. On top of their elements, Swap Force Skylanders, only the ones that swap, have new movement types, which are all used to enter these little like challenge areas that you need to have the corresponding movement type to enter. Just like elemental zones, which are still in this one too. The Skylanders got the ability to swap because of some like magic volcano they guarded that ended up erupting or something. Man, nature is so fucking cool. This isn't the only way the franchise ended up evolving either. Instead of being developed by Toys for Bob, this one was developed by Vicarious Visions in Beenox. I think that's how you say it. This was also the first game not to be owned by Vivendi. I couldn't exactly find an exact monetary value, but I did find how much it sold. That being 6.32 million game copies across all consoles, making it the best selling game in the series, beating Spyro and Giants at 5 million. Damn. Now, this wasn't the best non-Toys for Bob game in the franchise. That title belongs to... The characters from this game are what accidentally introduced me to the furry fandom. Moving on. Trap Team was the best game, just hands down, absurdly amazing, absolute cinema, best gimmick, best story, best characters, best game. I am not biased. All right, Salt, in your opinion, what's the best Skylanders game?
Yeah, it's clearly Spyro's Adventure.
Can you kill yourself? They got Beanox again and my main man Toys for Bob back on this one. I don't know why Bob wasn't on Swap Force. I guess he was taking a break or something. Too sleepy, I don't know. That little bastard Chaos is back once again. And this time he released all his gay little bad guy friends from Timeout. This hashtag cool as F group is called the Doom Raiders. And they're the most evil and scary villains in Skylands because, yeah. Yeah, aren't you scared? Aren't you? I love these guys. They're so cool. Yeah. This game introduced Trap Masters, a bunch of new Skylanders that all use massive weapons made of the Skylanders version of Vibranium, Traptanium. Bet you didn't expect a Marvel reference, huh? Where's my Reddit gold? Now, the Trap Masters, despite being a new concept, aren't the gimmick. That luxury belongs to these little crystal thingies. These little crystals that cost around $8 to $10 because of course they are, fuck you. You could capture villains of the same element and have them fight for you. I wonder what villains I have in my old traps. Broccoli guy. Oh. You could have them fight for you for a limited time before they had to get back to their beauty sleep and go back to prison. God forbid you use the gimmick of the game. Now, despite my liking of this game, it certainly had issues. At this point, Activision was getting real money hungry, as if they didn't already have plenty of cash. I haven't talked much about the products themselves so far because I didn't really feel the need to. That was up until now because, oh my God. Usually the not very cheap starter packs give you a majority of what you need to do most of the game, besides some like elemental zones that required you to have a Skylander or the matching element. Spyro's Adventure gives you 3, each a unique element from each other. Giants is the same, and if you had those same 3 from Spyro's Adventure for Giants, then you'd be totally fine. Swap Force gives you 2 of the 6 movement types, which are needed to do the swap zones. A little scummy, sure, but it gets worse. This not so happy Reddit user puts it best. To unlock all the content in this game, you need to not only find at least 9 $15 figurines for a total of $135. If you also wanted to play as every villain, you'd need to get 9 $10 figures for a total of $90. Including the $60 starter pack, you get a grand wonderful total of $285. Dude, little 9-year-old me didn't care though. Who cares about prices? Give me the damn dragon figure, Mom! Whoop, there goes Toys for Bob. Again, they died again. They're dead, replaced by Vicarious Visions once again. Womp womp. This time there's cars. Skylanders and cars. Whatever, man. Cars, I don't care about it. Is that fucking Bowser? Cars are cool. Yeah, sure, I like cars. Yeah. Cars are the gimmick this time. There's 3 types of vehicles. Cars, submarines, planes. You only get to use these in very specific scripted sections of the game though. I suppose it makes sense for level design or whatever, but like they really made you think you could just use this whenever. Thanks, marketing. On top of this, Superchargers also had a pretty prominent minigame you could play, which was just your typical run-of-the-mill racing game with several power-ups to stun your competition. Whoa, is that the Doom Raiders? Allie, eh? Truly the most evil supervillains in Skylands, first terrorizing the entire realm, now racing. What a bunch of degenerates. This was also the first use of online multiplayer in a Skylanders game, only in this racing minigame thing though. According to Activision, this game did not end up meeting their sales expectations. Once again, I could only find out that the game sold around 2 to 3 million copies. Quite the fall from grace. This was the other Skylanders game I never played as a kid, along with a lot of other fans in the series apparently, selling only 1.9 million copies. It was really the final nail in the coffin for this franchise. In fact, the entire Toys to Life franchise was starting to die off. Disney killed their developers for their game Disney Infinity around the same time this was released. Now that's uncanny. I'm sorry. At this point in time, Skylanders had already crossed the 3 billion mark in monetary value. Despite this achievement, Activision wasn't really the most enthusiastic, especially with the poor sales of Superchargers. If Imagineers didn't make money, the franchise would just basically be doomed, and Yeah, we already went over it. This one didn't make money. I didn't really look much into this game as a kid. I barely even knew about its existence. I was already moving on to other game franchises I liked. Literally the only thing I knew about it up until this video was some of the characters in that fucking Dan TDM voiced one of the Imaginators. It's really unfortunate too. The Toys for Bob developers, who were in charge of Imaginators, really cared about this franchise. Knowing that this was most certainly going to be the last game, they wanted to purposely leave the players off with a custom character creator mechanic. Skylanders as a franchise was all about creative, unique concepts, and they wanted to see the players' creativity run free, according to the wiki. Some lucky fans even got their fan Skylanders turned into figures with the power of 3D printing technology as a special thank you gift from the developers. I mean, come on, it would be cool, right? Despite the care developers gave, the greedy goblins at Activision basically demanded and required microtransactions to be baked into the game because of how much gaming has changed. I guess the developers were rightfully uncomfortable with this, but I mean, they had to go through with it. I personally feel that the poor decisions from Activision like this, time constraints, and just the general growing disinterest in the franchise and in toys to life games as a whole is what really killed it. It's really unfortunate. While I've been looking through YouTube videos and stuff for this video, I keep seeing people commenting on how much this franchise meant to them, and it meant so much to me too, which is why it's such a shame to see this is how the franchise ended. Hey, unscripted editing row here. I just wanted to put a little thing at the end here. Have some gameplay up, you know. What's a commentary video without just some random pointless gameplay, huh? This was my first attempt at doing any kind of video like this, like a commentary video. I'm pretty proud of it, personally. I think it came out pretty well. Obviously, there's a lot that could be improved. I'm not the best at reading scripts. I'm not the best at editing. I'm still learning. But, if you did watch to the end, I genuinely appreciate it a lot. And, I'm hoping to make more stuff like this. I still want to do stuff where my, like, friends are there, like, just fucking around, playing video games, whatever. But I also want to do more stuff that allows me to kind of be more creative, I guess, like write and stuff. I love writing, so script writing and stuff, I enjoy that. If you couldn't tell, this editing style I'm trying is, like, a lot more similar to some, like, other creators out there, kind of inspired by some things. Like, there's this one YouTuber I like a lot named Chazington, who just kind of puts random memes and shit in his videos, and I think it's funny. So I wanted to try out something like that. Obviously, it's still my own thing, but obviously inspired. So that's really all I have to say. Just thank you for watching, and hopefully another video out in not 8 months, and instead something like 2. See ya.